Haley here again. So, in the last episode, Eric had gone to LA to become a singing sensation, while I was left at home, missing him like crazy. When he told me he was performing his debut stage, I decided to go to LA and surprise him. Only, my plan failed miserably when I showed up at the wrong address. Then his manager, Will, answered the phone and told me Eric was too busy to meet me. Naturally, I felt bummed out. But Anna and Kurt insisted on cheering me up, so they took me to Disneyland. Okay, so I tried to have fun. I really did. But everywhere I looked, I saw lovey-dovey couples. Anna and Kurt seemed to be growing closer. They kept on taking pictures together. As happy as I was for them, this reminded me that Eric wasn't here with me. Then, when I was deep in thought, my phone beeped. I smiled when I saw it was a message from Eric and presumed he was sending me over his address. But instead, he said,
"There are VIP tickets to collect for you. I can't wait to see you backstage after the show. Smiley face, X."
I couldn't believe my eyes. Eric had got us 3 VIP tickets. It was a sold-out show, so it was the coolest thing ever. As soon as I showed the message to my friends, Anna squealed excitedly. But I couldn't help but notice that Kurt didn't look all that thrilled. We got ready and arrived at the show super early. I went to the booth to pick the tickets up. I looked at the tickets excitedly, but what's this? There was nothing on them about being VIP tickets. There must have been a mistake, right? So I asked the lady behind the desk about it. She frowned at me and assured me there was no mistake. Annoyed, I walked off and called Eric, but unsurprisingly, he didn't answer. No doubt he was in rehearsals or something. I was really disappointed because I just wanted to be by his side, to encourage and cheer him on the first time he performed. But now I couldn't. Plus, I was a little nervous his stage fright would return. I explained the mix-up to the others, and Anna was cool about it, and Kurt just rolled his eyes and muttered out,
"Figures."
I didn't bother asking him what he meant by this. I was already bummed out enough. The show was great, and Eric's performance, well, it was so amazing. He'd come on so much since I'd last heard him sing, and I was so proud of him. As soon as the show ended, I rang Eric again, and this time he picked up. I told him about the tickets, and he seemed confused. He confirmed to me that he asked the manager for 3 VIP tickets for us. Then Eric continued.
"Now I'm joining an after-party. I'll send you the address. Let's meet there."
I replied, "Sure, I'll be there. I miss you." I told Anna and Kurt about the party, but they both said they were tired, so made their way back to the hotel. It's okay, as I grabbed a taxi and went to the party by myself. As soon as I entered, I was overwhelmed by the bustle of the party. I'd only been there a few minutes, and I saw a super famous actor walk past me. This was so cool. I grabbed a glass of wine, stood in the corner of the room, and looked at Eric. He stood in the middle of the room, surrounded by a lot of people toasting glasses. Suddenly, I felt like an outsider. Now Eric was a rising star, and I was still an unknown child. After a while, the crowd thinned out, and then a smiling Eric walked over to me. Oh my God, my heart was beating so fast. Finally, I could meet him. I happily waved at him. But then suddenly, Will strode over and whispered something in his ear before he pulled him away. What? Why did he do that? I didn't even have time to say anything to Eric. An anxious restlessness swirled in my heart, so I secretly followed the two of them. Will pulled Eric over to the end of the hallway and said harshly,
"How dare you bring that girl here? If the press finds out, you can kiss goodbye to your career."
Eric replied,
"She's my girlfriend."
Will interrupted immediately.
"You have to keep this a secret. If your fans know that you have a girlfriend already and that she's some nobody, they will definitely turn their back on you."
After a moment of silence, Eric spoke up.
"Is it you who changed the VIP tickets to regular ones?"
He replied.
"Yeah, that was me. It's for the best. Trust me, you don't want all your efforts down the drain, do you?"
Eric was silent and said nothing. Then Will continued.
"You see, Haley saw your success, so she wanted to approach you. Think about it."
What? What did he just say? I was shocked and angry to hear this. I waited for Eric to defend me, but to my confusion, he didn't say a thing. Is this what Eric thought of me? That I was only using him to ride on his fame? I immediately stepped out and appeared in front of them. They both looked totally shocked, but I looked right at Will with wild eyes and said, "You don't need to worry. I'm out of here right now." Then I turned to Eric. "I honestly believed you had more faith in me. I guess now I know where I stand. We're over. I hope fame's everything you expect it to be." I stormed out of there, somehow managing not to burst into tears until I reached the street. My heart hurt so much when I realized a harsh fact. Popularity was the invisible wall that separated me and Eric. Then suddenly, I heard someone calling my name. I turned back and saw Eric chasing after me, but I carried on walking. He caught up with me and pulled on my hand.
"Haley, you misunderstood everything. Let me explain."
I stopped walking and said, "I think I've heard enough. Don't worry, I won't affect your career." Eric quickly interrupted me.
"No, don't say that. I'm so sorry. Haley, I promise I won't let Will interfere with our relationship anymore."
He hugged me tightly, and I felt my heart melt. It felt so familiar being in his arms. I missed him so much and wanted to believe him. My tears kept rolling down my cheeks, but not because of anger. It was tears of love. We stood like that for a long time. Then Eric said,
"Let me take you to a place."
Then he drove me to the Griffith Observatory. And whoa, it was so beautiful. We sat there and watched the stars twinkling. This night had been a roller coaster, but right now, there was nowhere else I'd rather be. So I looked at him and said, if only this moment could last forever. Eric smiled at me, then asked,
"So, how long are you gonna stay here?"
I looked at him sadly and replied, "I have to go back tomorrow." Eric pleaded with me.
"Can you stay for another week? Next week I'm free. I'll show you the LA hotspots. Stay with me. Please?"
Swing Club could cope without me for a week, right? And it would be amazing to spend some quality time with Eric. So I agreed to stay for another week. Anna and Kurt had flights booked for the next day, so they went back. I'm glad I chose to stay, as the next week with Eric by my side was amazing. We went to so many cool places, such as the Getty Center and the Farmers Market. I was so happy to always be with him. But there was one thing that annoyed me. Eric had to wear this wig, oversized hat, and big shades to disguise himself everywhere. But anyway, I knew that was best for him, for his career, and for me. The week whizzed by, and soon my last full day in LA arrived. And although I missed my friends in Swing Club, I felt sad about leaving Eric. Eric was performing at this music festival that day, so he gave me a ticket, and grinning said,
"Here, now I know it's definitely VIP."
This was so sweet of him, so I smiled and thanked him. The festival was huge. I'd never seen so many people before in my life. And then there was the VIP area. Oh my god, I spotted an A-list rapper praying for his performance, and a famous boy band practicing their dance routine. Eric's performance was, as always, outstanding. Afterward, I rushed into the VIP area and into the big tent. Whoa, it was full of so many famous people. I tried finding Eric, then I spotted him in the corner. He was talking to a girl. I walked over to him, and I couldn't believe my eyes. With him was Clara. She's this super famous singer who's been dubbed the new Taylor Swift. I really admired her. She's only 2 years older than me, but she's achieved so much. On seeing me, Eric introduced me to Clara. It turns out she's with the same record company as him, and they were preparing to release a product together. I happily said, "Hi," to Clara, and eagerly asked her to take a photo with me. I hurriedly took my phone from my bag and was about to hold it up to take a photo, but Clara immediately pushed my hand away and took a step back, then said, "No, I'm not free." This surprised me, so I muttered, "Oh, okay." Then she sweetly smiled at Eric as she rubbed his shoulder and said, "Bye, Eric. I'll catch you later." Then completely blanking me, she sashayed away. What just happened? I stood there open-mouthed and feeling confused. Honestly, what is being a famous artist? Was it necessary to deliberately act arrogant to prove herself a star like that?